Hi everyone and welcome to Nioh Alpha Demo or Nioh. I don't know how it's pronounced, but this is a really cool demo. Remember when the games actually released demos and not like fucking beta testing, which is actually a piece of the game, which is not beta testing at all. Well, this is actually a demo, and it is called alpha because it's kind of like an alpha version of the game. But this is a demo because this has two levels, two entire levels with two different bosses. This is how you release a fucking demo, guys. Everyone should learn from Team Ninja here. And by the way, I'm showing you all these menus because you have a lot of things to tweak in this game. But there is no difficulty tweaking. And the game is super fucking punishing. And look at that, we have cameras, horizontal speed, vertical speed, and aiming speed cameras. I think Big's gonna like that. And and yeah, this game is at the basics is like Ninja Gaiden mixed with Dark Souls. And but take that with a grain of salt, guys, because this is a lot slower than it's gonna look right here in the demo. The gameplay is a lot slower than a Dark Souls, and is a lot slower than a Ninja Gaiden. So I will say it's closer to remember those games Way of the Samurai? That were kinda like the fighting was kinda methodical, something like that. But Way of the Samurai, I don't think any one of the Way of the Samurais were actually good. This is a Team Ninja game. This has the stamp of Ninja Gaiden all over it, and it also has the stamp of Dark Souls because it has a lot of mechanics that are pretty close to Dark Souls, like the stamina mechanic, which is super important, and the blocking, and the dodging, and I guess the parrying, but I didn't get to parry in this demo, to be honest, guys. I didn't know how to do it. I think it's a skill that you have to develop eventually because the skills are developed and put down on the controls in the section that is called skills. It's not like Dark Souls that you have every single skill available, like dodging and parrying and stuff. I think it's actually a skill, and that shrine that you see over there is like the main checkpoint, like the bonfire, if you want to call it like that. There is where you're going to level up your character. Yes, your character has stats. I'm just testing the controls here. Why did the shrine go off? Why did the shrine go off? Well, whatever. There are a lot of mechanics that are really interesting in this game, and I'm going to show you the entire first level or part of it. I'm going to edit it out. A lot of the stuff when I was learning. We're going to pass soon with a much later phase in the game when I was actually a lot more knowledgeable about what I have to do and how to play. And I'm going to show you the first boss, and then I'm going to release a second part where I'm going to show you the second level, and I'm going to show you the second boss. Now the bosses are really cool. The art design is really interesting. I will say the graphics are not something really crazy, and that you see right there is somewhere when another player died. Yes, you play this game online. I don't think the demo you can play it offline. It actually requires you to be online to play it. I don't know if the final game is going to be requiring the same, but yeah. The demo does, and it's because of that mechanic. When you see something on the ground like that, swords, is where another player died, and you can actually summon an NPC of that player who has the same equipment that that player had when he died. And if you defeat the NPC, it's like a PvP, but it's not against a player; it's against an NPC. If you defeat the NPC, you have a chance. It's a random chance to get some good drops. This game has random drops, guys, and it has different color drops like Diablo, which means better equipment, and it's all around the better equipment here. This is something really important to mention. This game is half skill, that means half knowing what you're doing and knowing how to play, and half your equipment. There is no shop, at least in the demo there is no shop. So you see I'm going to summon an NPC and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and I'm dead. So yeah, and we're gonna pass soon to a much later part in the game when I actually fight and equip a bow, which is really important. And as I was saying, the equipment degrades. I don't know why this is a thing in games, but I guess, well, it is. And yeah, the equipment degrades and eventually breaks. You have to be changing swords and weapons at all times. You cannot just buy a sword and use that sword for the entire game or even the entire level. It's gonna break eventually, so you have to be constantly changing loot, which is the main game. And that wolf that looks like a Materasu is actually a summon, is magic. When we feel that circle that has the wolf sign, you can actually have another animals as well. They do different things. This wolf, for example, is you're gonna see it at some point. It's a little summon that doesn't fight with you, but it's like the spirit of the wolf, and you actually have a lot of fire damage, and you have some invincibility frames, and your attack is increased a lot. So that thing that you see me curing and that I have two right now is like Estus Flask. It's the same thing as Estus Flask, and we're going to go to a later part in the game, guys. You're gonna see me using a bow here and using all kind of tactics, and yeah. So the Estus Flask, or the elixirs, which are called in this game, are something that you cannot replenish unless you are in a shrine, and you can rest in the shrine or meditate, as it's called here. See why this is kind of like Ninja Gaiden and Dark Souls. A lot of elements of Dark Souls here. For example, when you die, you drop the spirit, the wolf spirit, in the ground, and you have only one chance to regain it. If you fail, you lost all your spirit. That is kind of like your currency in this game. It's like the thing that you're going to use to level up and maybe buy stuff. But I haven't seen a shop in this demo. But it could be possible in the final game. I don't know. The thing that I love about this demo, besides that it's actually a demo and not bullshit, is that the game is so fucking complex here, guys. This is methodical, slow, and really complex. Like, it's not going to click at the beginning when you start playing. You're gonna feel like you're going to die, like you're dying and dying and dying, and the game feels clunkish and slow. It almost feels out of balance, like the balancing on your speed and then the speed on the enemies is like a little out of balance. I don't know how to explain it, but it grows on you. and this is really important. The game grows on you, and when it does, when you actually realize what you can do with the sword and with the dodges, as you can see, you can hit with the sword and immediately dodge, and it's going to do an invisible frame dodge. And I don't know if I'm totally certain that I can do that at this point, because I think I'm gonna die here. Yeah, there we go. So okay, like I was saying, there are a lot of enemies. You have to learn, like I'm going to try to explain how the gameplay mechanic works. It's slower, methodical, it's complex, and when it feels right, when it finally clicks, it's really rewarding. It's a lot about you have different stances. See that in the right bottom corner you have stances that I'm changing right there, and the stances is basically damage, block, speed, and I don't know what the other is actually. I think it's dodge, speed, and the other one is fast attack but low damage, something like that. I only use like two stances, the blocking and the high damage stance, which you almost basically have to use for the bigger enemies. There are demons in this game. There are not only human enemies, there are demons, there are huge fucking monsters. There are little monsters like the one you see there. And the bosses are really huge and you have to, every single enemy that you encounter, every single one, you have to learn his moveset before attempting to actually survive an encounter. Even if it is a normal enemy, it's gonna kill you. The game is that punishing. I would even go as far as to say that this game is going to feel so punishing for people that it's gonna ultimately get hurt because of the difficulty. But if you like challenging games, this is right up your alley, because this is really challenging, and this is all about learning and getting better at the game. And when you do that, the game gets really rewarding. It gets really satisfying. I myself already finished the demo. I killed the second boss fight, which is actually really fucking cool. And yeah, the game has so many things to learn, and it's so fun. It's such a fun game. I actually thought this was gonna be like a faster game, kind of like Ninja Gaiden, and it's not. And that kind of put me off at the beginning of the demo. But when it clicked, you know, when the gameplay clicked, and you actually learn to use your character at his full extent of abilities, and you kind of level up a little, and you get some skills that are really useful, and you learn how to use different weapons for different situations. The game is fucking incredible. Either way, I mostly use katanas because I kind of like want to play like a ninja game, which is a samurai game. This is a samurai game, but it has a lot of fantasy in it. The demon design is cool, and it's kind of like an underworld. They come from an underworld, which is that kind of black and white effect that they kind of do sometimes. You're gonna see it in the boss fights. It's really interesting. The game is really interesting. It's a lot of fun to play. I was thoroughly surprised by this game. Really, this is a jewel in the making. I think this could be a great game. Now, the graphics are not something that you're going to, you know, to be wowed. Not something that you're going to be impressed. The sound design is good. It is acceptable. It is what you will expect. Nothing is going to really stand out but the gameplay. So if you see videos like this, a lot of gameplay, the game is going to look kind of like a Ninja Gaiden and nothing else, dodging and cutting parts of the enemies, you know, and being defensive. And you're gonna say, okay, it's another one of these hack and slash games, but it's really not. It's really not, guys. It's the gameplay is really tight, and it's a lot of risk versus reward. It gets that right. It gets the feeling of advancing through the game versus losing all your spirits or souls, or I think it's actually called spirits, because yeah, if you rest or if you meditate, sorry, at a shrine, actually resets all the enemies in the level. That's exactly like Dark Souls. So you're always risking your spirit or your souls, if you want to understand it, in order to advance. And every single enemy, maybe not these kind of easy enemies, but every single enemy is a potential death if you don't know how to face it. So that makes the game really extensive, it's really complex, but it's really fun. It's super fucking fun. If you like challenging games, if you like Ninja Gaiden, if you like Dark Souls, if you like hack and slash, challenging hack and slash games, or action RPG, I guess this is an action RPG, you're gonna love this game. I'm probably going to buy it. Like, this demo sold the game for me. If the game is actually a lot more of this, it sold it. It really sold it for me. This is a beautiful game. Like, this is Team Ninja at his finest. This is finally a good Team Ninja game. I'm sorry to say that it's at the moment is exclusive of the PS4. There hasn't been any announcement of even being multi-console or PC release, just for the PS4. At least for now, you know, we don't know if it actually is a time exclusivity or is this going to be exclusivity like forever. But is this game worth it? It's worth to try. You should try it, guys. And this demo is gonna end. So sadly, it's going to end in a few days, and it's kind of sad because you can actually replay the levels that you beat, and you can actually keep getting better at the game. And I wish I could keep replaying this game like right up until the release of the game, because it's really addictive. That's something that I didn't mention. The game is super addictive when you finally clicks, you know, and you just want to keep exploring and keep finding items and keep fighting the people that died, NPCs, for a chance to get loot, and you know, fight. See, this is a shortcut, right? Like Dark Souls. See, they have the shortcuts down as well. Now I'm going to show you the boss fight, and I'm going to leave you with the sounds of the game now, guys, because I think I explained a lot. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. My throat is kind of hurting. But yeah, this is the boss of the first level, and yeah, we're gonna see each other in the second mission, where I'm going to explain a few other things, and then I'm going to talk about other stuff that I wanted to talk about. So thanks for watching, guys, and have fun with the boss fight, and I'll see you in the second part. Take care.